Slavica Grkovska is a Deputy Prime Minister in charge of good governance policies in the government of the Republic of North Macedonia. On behalf of the Transit Project Consortium, we've prepared few questions related to this project goals. Ms. Grkovska, from your viewpoint as a government representative, do you find this project beneficial for the country?
I'm glad for having the opportunity to express my support for the Transit project, which is dedicated to the challenges associated with the great transformation in our era. Transition to a sustainable future must be accompanied by appropriate education and training, and that's why I highly appreciate the efforts of the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Information Technologies to identify the current needs and best practices. As a Vice President of the government in charge of good governance policies, I'm deeply aware that energy stability of the country and the implementation of sustainable and modern solutions in the field are essential for all other elements of the country's development. And only a stable society is able to strengthen good governance and to build better living and working conditions for all citizens. The sustainable living must become an option for the people, which would not be difficult, expensive, or complicated in order to be embraced as a lifestyle. Certainly, education, training, and reskilling are crucial for the progress we aim to achieve.
What action is required that our country would have clean, affordable, and secure energy?
I would say that the lack of awareness of the benefits of sustainable living and renewable energy is something that we must address continuously and make the necessary change in minds. But it's a process that involves not only policymakers, but also the private sector, the media, and the educational institutions. It's a task for all of us, as is for all other issues that demand systematic approach. Or, as the slogan, which we use for our good governance campaign, says, it depends on me and you. The government is dedicated to support and build infrastructure for renewable energy in the country. Because if we want to genuinely change people's habits, if we want people to adopt sustainable living practices, basic conditions must be provided. For example, it is very important to continue with subsidies for citizens to use solar energy, to increase the energy efficiency of the buildings or to change the way of heating. These incentives should be constantly implemented since they are making a direct change in everyday life. North Macedonia is the first country in the region which adopted a strategy for energy development until 2040, based on the European Green Deal, which clearly defines our determination for investments in clean energy, but also for increasing the reliability of our energy system. The future of our energy transitions in the production of clean green energy from our natural potentials, the sun, wind and water. That's why it is of crucial importance to implement all the policies and actions foreseen in the strategy so we can continue to work towards a more sustainable and secure energy future that is environmentally friendly, affordable and provides long-term benefits for the economy and society. There are numerous challenges in creating conditions for sustainable lifestyle in our country. But the global crisis is a circumstance that contributed to placing the energy transition and diversification in energy supply at the top of the agenda. We work on bringing a higher standard of living for our citizens on every level, and that goal is intertwined with energy stability and sustainable economy.
What will be the effect of all these changes on the gaps in the society?
It is clear that these changes are widespread and will have strong social-economic effects everywhere. But we must keep in mind that all sustainability goals are inevitably linked to access to rights, anti-discrimination, poverty reduction, promotion of equality. Since one of my responsibilities is to coordinate the institutions involved in the process of digital transformation of society, I am aware that in a certain period of time, some gaps will deepen, such as the difficult access to labor for those who will not have the appropriate skills. But improvements will definitely come. and especially in those areas where there are deep structural gaps. Digitalization brings more opportunities for the inclusion of women in the labor market, more opportunities for the people with disabilities and other vulnerable groups. Digitalization is also directly related to the use of sustainable energy sources. For example, although it will maybe cause a reduction in jobs in coal mines, employment in the IT sector will increase, and many new professional profiles will be required with better paid and safer jobs. This entire transition imposes a need for changes in education itself, not only in terms of the program in primary, secondary, and higher education, but also in terms of creating conditions for lifelong learning and continuous trainings, so that citizens can be easily informed, educated, and skilled to keep up with these great global changes and challenges. Thank you.